You can expect Goa to come out flying in this half, Pulla. They've very much been a first half team, something that Manolo Marquez would want to change in this final. If they get that early goal, you can see the best of FC Goa. The key for East Bengal would not be to conceding early.
Do tend to fight back more often than not, this version of the red and golds. Severio's flick falls to Dejan Drazic. He's got Rakip, who's in good form alongside him, but his first contribution is giving away a free kick.
Yep, you called it, Pulla. We can see that battle in play in the very first few minutes of this game. Rakip giving away a cheap foul. Now FC Goa have a chance to swing it in. It's probably going to be Borja Herrera, the ex-East Bengal player, with his magical left foot, who's going to whip it in.
Borja takes. Severio is just above him. And then Kevin Sibi had to just help it out of play, but what a chance for the number 9.
Pulla, we spoke about a fast start, and that's exactly what it could have been. Beautiful ball by Borja Herrera, just a little bit above Avi Severio. And very well done by Kevin Sibi to just get it out of the path of danger.
Yeah, on the second look, just a little too high. Maybe if he was approaching the ball and timed his leap right, but no way he could have craned his neck that much. Borja sends in another ball, and this time the keeper sees it all the way and into his palms.
Yeah, perhaps Sukan could have been lost with the sight of the ball against the floodlight for a second over there. Eventually clears it out of his hands, and now East Bengal have a chance to settle into the game a little bit.
The two teams met in the 2018 Super Cup semis. In the first edition, East Bengal, of course, earned a hard-fought 1-0 win over Goa in that game at the Kalinga in Bhubaneswar. Dudu scoring the only goal late as well in the 78th minute. Helped on by the fact that Edu Bedia was sent off as Goa tried to get back into it. So East Bengal did play in the first ever final of the Super Cup and lost against Bengaluru eventually.
Yeah, I remember that Dudu goal, Pulla. Just ghosted into the box at the last moment. Javi Severio. Goa could do with some of that from him today.
There was a late entrant into the semi-final after Guarachena was sent off in the tunnel, a rare occurrence that hardly ever happens in world football. Now Bino George, the man in charge, but of course he has the blueprint already from Oscar Bruzon.
Yeah, Bruzon watching on from the stands, and his presence on the touchline would just be a little off for the players today because they are used to him belting out the instructions from the sideline. Like you said, though, the blueprint would have been given to Bino George. It's very much part of the setup. A man of a few words is George, but with ideas teeming in his mind all the time.
Here's Rashid. Bipin. Figuera.
Yeah, that was well done by Boris. Important interception. Just a quick snapshot of what could happen if Figuera has too much time on the ball.
It's a loose ball, and now Severio's onto it. And for a shot as well. Very unlikely he was ever going to score from there.
Yeah, playing on instinct. Sometimes you need to marry that instinct with execution as well. But forward thinking from Severio.
This crossfield ball is doing a lot of damage. Figuera into the path of Bipin. Was he pulled down? He was. Boris had a hand on his shoulder, and it'll be the first yellow card of the game.
Yeah, early blow for FC Goa. Now Boris has to play the best part of 85 minutes with a yellow card to his name. That's once again, if you give Figuera too much time on the ball, That's what happens. Always going to be a yellow card. Boris had his arms all over Bipin Singh from the get-go. He knows it. Wonder if Bipin could have continued his run and got to the ball, but decides to settle for the free kick.
Bipin and Mahesh on this. I have a couple of sharpshooters waiting on the edge of the area as well. Mahesh has played it to one of them, Miguel Figueira. Had to be slightly different angle. It probably came too quick at him, too straight.
Yeah, you like to see that though. You like to see teams mixing it up. Just a little bit behind him maybe. Going by his expression, he knows he could have done better with that.
He's already seen the crossfield ball from Sibi come to Boris on that side where there's two players, Bipin and Miguel Figueira, just drifting, making it 2v1 against Boris. That's how they carved out that free kick opportunity.
Yep. And now to see if there's something that East Bengal can pull off from the right-hand side as well.
He's getting ready for one more. There it is.
There you go.
Brilliant. Again, Bipin. 3 times now that has worked out for East Bengal. Crespo for Rashid. Stretch for that, so did Rakip.
Good effort and legs there from East Bengal. You can see without the ball, they're hunting down FC Goa like a hound of wolves. And Goa will rely on their ability to play the ball from out of the... Oh, so out of the back.
Yeah, initially looked like he got enough of the ball, but also a lot of the man. Saul Crespo just having a chat with Chungnunga that he doesn't really have to do that, but...
Yeah, absolutely. Crespo would do well as a captain to drill some discipline into Chungnunga early on into this game. He's lucky he's escaped without any kind of card.
But is there that much in that challenge? He's gone for the ball. It is a robust challenge, but there is room for an argument that he got the ball first, eyes on the ball. A little follow-on, yes, but that happens when you're sliding in.
It's his reputation which will eventually precede him.
That's the one.
Pula. If he continues like that in the game, customary yellow cards, not an oddity for that player.
Goa try to build again. Sibi just stepping across Drazic. And then he got stepped on by Drazic as well. Most possibly by mistake.
Already we've seen a few fouls in this game. Here's another one. Drazic puts on the afterburners and just as he's trying to win the ball back, just unintentionally steps on Sibil's. Yep. Oh, though. His foot has no business to be that high. Not how people naturally get out of the way. Kind of naughty there by Dejan Drazic.
Had a good start to the game, Sibi. A couple of brilliant lobbed passes. Had to find Bipin and Miguel on one side. 2 goals already in the Super Cup.
Something very honest and earnest about Sibil's efforts on the pitch. Does his job very well. He's been one of the most underrated players of East Bengal's campaign so far.
Borja. East Bengal keeps winning the ball back in important areas.
I'm liking the edge there to this game, Pula, so far. Befitting of a final.
FC Goa have won 8 out of 9 Super Cup knockout games. East Bengal have 5 out of 6. Excellent records, both teams, when it comes to must-win situations.
Love to see that. Goan fans waiting for their team to put on a show for them. And they'll reciprocate with the energy in the stands when they see that on the pitch.
Bit of a shaky start going forward for Goa. Bora. Sangwan, early diagonal for Siveria to chase. Excellent reach from Anwar Ali.
That's why he's one of the best centre-backs in Indian football, if not the best. Read that so well, so early. Had that ball gone through Siveria, just had to tap in.
Great ball as well. Wonder if this is on or off. Flag is down. East Bengal have a chance to open the scoring. It's wide from Miguel Figueira.
I'll tell you what, Bipin Singh will absolutely be tearing his hair out at not receiving the ball from Figueira. You see over there, Figueira. Oh, should have been offside though. The referee, for his sake, keeps the flag down. Just look at how much space Bipin Singh is in. Figueira just needs to look up and square the ball to Bipin Singh. Instead, he tries to go and curl it in to the bottom corner. You wonder if that shot was on, especially when Bipin was in such acres of space.
There's been very little offside controversy in the Super Cup so far, so credit to the officials who've gotten most decisions right. That could have been a big blip because they did get it wrong. We will see that again in case there was Boris Singh at right back who might have just played Miguel onside. Anyway, nothing came off it, so no damage done.
Yeah, it goes down to a huge chance missed though. And it's moments like these in the final that eventually count. Well, Figueira back to the abilities on that occasion, and to be fair, he's more than capable of putting it in from that angle. Bipin was clearly the better option.
Yes, Crespo. The interception from Bryson. Timor. Into that gap where Rakip is expecting Prabhsukan to come out for it.
And he might have done well to get out there, mop the ball up. But you see Sibil doing that switch for East Bengal. On this occasion, you see David Timor doing it on the left flank. Here's the offside again, or the potential offside rather.
Oof. Might have just been on. It's possibly onside from that angle if you see Boris.
And we have the lines drawn out. There's no clear-cut conclusion. But yeah, a bit of this, a bit of that.
Here's Timor.
We saw that from Timor a few moments earlier, for what I was mentioning. We'll come back to that.
Excellent press this from East Bengal. No time, no mood to waste time. Going for it so quickly, a little too much in that from Bipin this time.
Yeah, Bipin just on Bryson's back. He knows what an important player he is for FC Goa. So wiry, slippery customer. Good foul to take. But what I liked right before that was how Bipin Singh, even before the ball had been cleared out by FC Goa's defense, had already anticipated where the ball was going to go and immediately started his run. Tracking back, defending.
There seems to be a system and an attitude that works as well for East Bengal. This Oscar Bruzon trying to drill in an ideology where attack is the best form of defense. If you go on and score and keep the other team always occupied with defending, there's no need to Stay back. Here comes one more. Bipin this time sweeping it in. Cleared away by Sangwan.
Yeah, correct idea by Chungnunga. Just needed to be a little quicker in releasing that. Ball took some time to reach Bipin Singh, and by the time it did, the Goan defense was back into shape.
Miguel just everywhere. Always thinking about that final pass.
Yeah, Miguel would do well to shrug off that early chance. And there you see the travelling East Bengal fans, a lot of them having come down from Kolkata to try and be equal in number to those in orange today.
Drazic. Rakib continues to follow him. Bryson salvages the situation. Much to the frustration of Bipin.
Well, that's excellent strength from Bryson. You see how he uses his lower body to not be shrugged off easily by Bipin, who by all means is not a weak player on the pitch. Does well to earn that foul.
Haven't had much joy going forward. Not yet Goa. Apart from that one cross that came in from Sangwan, that early free kick from Bora as well, which almost found Severio. This one's also taken comfortably by Prabsukhan.
An early release. You see Drazic tracking all the way back from the left to the right on this occasion. And there you have the walk back. We always mention it. Manolo Marquez with an indignant look whenever he's not happy with something. So much time for David Timor on the ball. And maybe, there you have it now, Ibusuki using that as a trigger to just close the space down, because Timor is capable of putting those balls in behind East Bengal's defense.
The teams have become much better at dealing with a high press, after which teams which used to high press have just reminded themselves it doesn't always work. It takes up a lot of energy, so you do it in little bursts and little phases. But you can see around the centre circle is where East Bengal really want to pounce and Goa. That's where they don't want the likes of Borja and Ayush and Timor to have that control.
Yes, this game is highly likely to be decided in midfield. Whoever ends up winning that midfield battle is probably going to end up on the win side. I don't really see this game being decided by a mistake. Although this might come back to bite me later. There's just so much quality on the pitch though. See good football.
Ibusuki went up. Just 1.1 goal per match in the ISL last season for East Bengal. Scoring was a massive struggle. Oh, that's very smartly done by Ibusuki. He's found Bipin. There's two in the box. And just before Mahesh could get something on it, the ball was off him and out of trajectory and out of reach.
You know, even though the ball reached Mahesh eventually, wondering if Bipin Singh could have just released that ball a little earlier, Ibusuki does excellently. That's what he's there for, that flick on, clearly onside. Bipin Singh now has acres of space to run in, and there, you just wonder if that's when he should have released it for Mahesh, who's actually ended up getting his first ISL goals against FC Goa. He scored a double in the 21-22 bubble season.
There are goals in this team, and that move happened just when we were telling how they were the third lowest in terms of goals scored per game in the ISL last season, and now in the Super Cup 2.3 goals a game, which is not bad at all. Also reflecting the philosophy of the head coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Like for East Bengal now, very comfortable in the identity that they espouse on the pitch. Extremely sure of what they're doing. They're not second guessing. I'll tell you someone who is second guessing already though is Boris Singh on Goa's right. We've seen that right being attacked time and time again. Wonder if Manolo Marquez will already have that in his mind.
It's great to watch because Miguel comes and takes a position very close to Bipin. And then Boris is all over the place. Should he stay central and track the number 10 who has a free role? Or should he stay with the winger? That's where Ayush's positioning becomes important.
Yeah, so Ayush can then tuck in and perhaps cover the space that Boris has left empty. And similar pressing styles for both teams. Allowing the centre-backs to have the ball to an extent, but then using that as a trigger great pass though into the midfield.
Figuera looking for Bipin, who almost blindsided Boris.
Yeah, once again, Bipin Singh beating Boris Singh. I would have rather beaten him for pace, but Boris did well eventually to put his arm out and prevent any wrongdoing.
You see the risk-taking ability in the side. That pass from Chungnunga, which went through the lines into the feet of Miguel. And then Miguel immediately trying to release Bipin. And there's the back heel as well. There's a lot of expression in this team at the moment, and they're expressing it well. Here's Crespo.
And once again, you see the Brazilian bringing the flair onto the pitch. A neat little drag back for Bipin Singh. Completely catching Boris out. And had Bipin had a little more on that cross, Ibusigi was there to take advantage of that with his height and positioning. Well, Rakib's doing his job as a dutiful defender. Just preventing that quick free kick. And there you see once again David Timor with that sweeping cross.
Uh-oh. I initially thought it would be enough on the ball for East Bengal to clear. Instead, Goa have pounced on this. Here's Boris. Cleared away.
Yeah, might have been the right idea from Boris. And Bryson just held his run. Didn't decide to go into empty space. Speaking of which, Ronnie seems to have a bit of a problem.
Yeah, it's going to be a change. Ronnie will be out and Nimdorji Tamang will be brought on. Unfortunate for the young centre-back.
Oh, he's been so good since he's replaced Sandesh Jingan in that lineup. Fortunately for Goa, they do have a more than able replacement for him in Nim Dorji. Those fans would hope that he'd be able to do a good job.
Unfortunate that a couple of characters who would have made this game way more interesting are not on the pitch. Iker Chen is one of them. Sandesh Jingan, of course, with an injury. Oscar Bruzon. There's some missing characters. Most of them for Goa, in fact.
Yeah, let's hope the game brings out the character in the players on the pitch right now. Jingan, you mentioned earlier. Didn't he also score his first ISL goal against East Bengal? I believe he did. He called him a Minotaur.
Yeah, he liked that. There he is. Another change also happening. Boris is going off for Udanta. And Boris is on a yellow. This seems like Manolo Marquez has seen a problem. And no head coach so far has caused that much of a problem for Manolo Marquez within 30 minutes for him to make a change like this. And it seems tactical, doesn't it?
Yeah, the yellow card that Boris Singh picked up, of course, would have a lot to do with that. Doesn't want to risk it.
It's a huge compliment to East Bengal, that particular change. Timor, lovely pass into the feet of Bora, who could not turn onto it. Very good interception from Ayush Chetri.
Yeah, Timor showing what he can do if he's given space and time. Once again, a line-breaking pass.
Drazic. Timor with some pace. Severio tried to angle it towards goal.
Yeah, good idea by Javi Severio, just a little away from the goal. Would have been tough for him to generate pace from that position. But once again, what a great ball in by Timor. And by this point, teams definitely need to be pressing down on him a little quicker. He's been doing that all Super Cup. Set up a couple of goals like that as well. And that's one outlet that East Bengal really need to plug.
Everyone's coming to this side, you can see that. It's a bit of an overload. Pipin, Ibusuki, Figuera gets into the act. It's possibly from the last game they've seen a little bit of a weakness on the side of Boris, usually fantastic player. Ayush. Sangwan. %63% of the ball with Goa, but not a lot of it has been progressive.
Man on.
Was possibly putting the ball out.
Early exit for Boris Singh. We spoke about how that yellow card would have contributed to him being under scrutiny from Manolo Marquez. And when Udanta came on, he was still warming up, which shows how quick Manolo Marquez was in his decision making. Identified a problem, decides to plug it as soon as he could.
Nimdorji also brought on for an injury to Ronnie Wilson, who's gone straight into the dressing room, is just coming out. Just swapped his cleats for sneakers.
It's something he would have clearly felt and communicated to the bench as soon as he could. Doesn't want to jeopardize his team in any way on the pitch.
Will continue to want the kind of service that's been coming into the box so far, Severio. The team's going out for a drinks break now. East Bengal clearly on the up and looking like the better team.
You'd have to say so. There's been a good feeling about East Bengal before the game, peaking at the right time. And these fans, of course, have come out to see good football. It would be nice if it was their own home team, but so far East Bengal putting on most of the moves on the pitch. They're everywhere, wherever their team plays.
That's the think tank. They'll be hoping they have a lot to think about even after this game. Goa have a fixture on the 24th of December.
I wonder how hard it would have been for these teams to isolate what might potentially happen after this game and focus only on the 90 minutes. Couldn't have been easy.
Jingan and family also watching. December absolutely huge in Goa. A lot of them looking for an early Christmas present. East Bengal are here to spoil that party.
Just looking at Figueira, there's a few good left feet on the pitch. Pereira, Figueira, very Foden-esque players.
Yeah, Saul Crespo as well. Mahesh, if you want to count him.
Oh, he's a good one.
This man Timor. So a new look back four for Goa within the first half an hour. One centre back and one full back already changed. Here's Ayush. Rashid went in slightly late on Timor, but thankfully didn't make much of it. Now Bryson just unable to control that. Very unlike him.
Yeah, uncharacteristic of Bryson. Rashid was just a little late. Lapse of concentration by Bryson Fernandes. Cross with himself. Because from those positions, he really is able to pick the ball up and drive forward, either down the line or cutting in. He's comfortable with both.
Seven individual goal scorers for East Bengal, 6 for Goa. Goals all over the park for both the teams. In fact, Kevin Sibi is the top scorer for East Bengal with 2. Borja and Trazic have 2 each for Goa. And Bipin also with a couple of goals already.
Yes, Sabir could credit Mohit Shabir for that second goal he scored.
Miguel Figueira going down. Too easy for the referee.
Well done by Sabir. Recycles it. Not too much in that.
Oh, incredible touch.
Amazing.
Now Bipin. Mahesh had made a run as well. As we look at this brilliant piece of control.
Yeah, players just naturally gifted are able to do that at will. He belongs to that category, does Miguel Figueira. Almost 35 minutes have flown past Fuller.
Just a slight drop in tempo over the last 10 minutes. The early nerves of the final are out of the way. Goa seem to have settled as well. Not as wasteful. Still haven't offered much going forward though. That's something has to change. Ibusuki.
Some excellent play once again by East Bengal. Love to see it.
Crespo. Oh, too easy. Now Miguel Figueira. Which way is he going to go? He goes Mahesh's way. Mahesh for the cutback. Just a little too weighty, that pass for Mahesh. He had to race against the touchline to put that ball in. Needed more purchase on that.
Yeah, Figueira once again had both options. He decides to go outside to Mahesh. Mahesh also could have just maybe seen and scanned what his options were instead of going with the first time cut back. Goa had covered ground by that time, but once again, just a snapshot of what East Bengal are capable of once they get that man Figueroa on the ball. And the line-breaking pass right before that, so good to see.
Rashid. And Dragic has escaped with that. Prabhsukhan, this time his timing was perfect.
Yeah, does well to warm it up. Plugging the danger before it became bigger.
Again, good defending from Anwar Ali, just getting in front of Severio. Here's that earlier ball over the top and Prabhsukhan coming out.
And you see, Bryson was also just blocked off before Prabhsukhan got to the ball, which shows very good intuitive defending as well from the red and gold. It's not just about what they do on the ball, what they do off the ball, remaining concentrated. So important in the final.
Ibusuki. Now Bipin. I try to set up Miguel with a little dink.
A good idea. Bipin versus Udanta this time, and Udanta more than able of doing that to Bipin Singh, who wriggles off him and then tries to find the ball into the middle of the box.
Didn't need that much on that, Rashid.
Oh, interesting pass.
Sangwan. Ayush. Looking for options and finding Borja. And now Bryson in space. It's a low ball and cleared away by Anwar.
Anwar switched on once again when it mattered the most. A good idea by Bryson, as we'll see. He picks the ball up. He had that option where Udanta was calling for it on the underlap. Anwar does well.
Crespo. Now he's demanding runners. Rakip waiting for the ball to bounce. Goa win it back.
Yeah, good hustle on the pitch from both sides. Akash Sangwan's not seen much down his side so far. It's mostly been down Goa's right. And you could see the crowd getting excited when the ball went to Akash's side, because they haven't seen many attacks from that side. And for all of East Bengal's dominance, I beg your pardon, still remains 0-0. It's not like they've had any clear-cut chances, though.
Here's Borja. And now Dragic sends Rakip one way, but Rakip stays stuck to him, and another attack stopped by East Bengal's right back.
Yeah, you saw that little chop by Dragic. It's a signature move. It's led to David Timor taking a shot, as we'll see. Dragic one-on-one with Mark Rakip. You had Kevin Sabir doing very well to cover that position, and Timur eventually gets the shot over the bar.
It looks very neat for East Bengal at the back. A lot of confidence as well now coursing through the veins of the players. I spoke with Jai Gupta before the game, and he mentioned how the team is having some excellent training sessions, very tuned into Oscar Bruzon's demands from them.
Always helps when everyone's having fun while they're at it.
Vinod George also before the game just talking about how the message has been to enjoy the occasion, enjoy the final. For a long, long time, there was this sense that East Bengal were not enjoying their football, and that seems to slowly be going away, that dark cloud.
And for a change, the fans enjoying some good football. As you see Figueira gesturing to his players to make the run earlier, because he was ready to release the ball. A leader on the pitch in the short time he's been at the club.
Nicely left. Here's Bryson. He brings in Udanta. Oh, it's not the first time that's happened on that side.
Yeah, Manolo Marquez this time decides to encourage instead of admonish. We saw that happening to Bryson earlier, and now Udanta, curse of the right-hand side, had the foot order tonight, it seems.
Another fine flick from Ibusuki, and Bipin has escaped Udanta. He needs support in the box, and will have to go in reverse gear to wait for that support. In it finally comes Mahesh. Save.
That's some very, very good football. Just in a snapshot once again from East Bengal we've seen, and David Timur is frustrated because they know he could do better. Once again Ibusuki doing excellently with that flick on to Bipin Singh, who then finds cross into the box. Mahesh Naurim with good technique tries to find Ritik Tiwari at the near post. Tiwari does well. On target, the first shot on target for either side. He's so important, isn't he, for East Bengal?
Bipin sends it in. The man down in the box. Timur has quickly stood up though. Had to bounce back.
Yeah, we'll see what happened there to David Timur, expecting the foul from the referee, but good free kick, beg your pardon, corner routine from East Bengal. Doesn't seem to be much over there. Ooh, however, a little bit of a hand to the face.
Rakip sends Drazic down this time. Only twice across their meeting has it ended 0-0 at half-time between these two sides. Goa have the upper hand in the head-to-head. That's why this find is exciting, because there's almost always goals and entertainment when the Goas take on the red and golds. Changnunga uses his right to send that in way over Ibusuki.
Yeah, Bula, one of those 0-0s at half-time ended in a draw. The other one, in fact, was a win for East Bengal in the semi-final of the Super Cup in 2018 against FC Goa. Dudu scoring that goal.
2 minutes added on. Bryson had to release it then. Maybe use Severio for a 1-2. It's all a little delayed this time for Goa.
Yeah, he missed that one. The wall pass was on. Severio would have just cushioned it back into his path and he could have continued his run.
That went almost past everyone.
Oh, mistake. And had Bryson been a little more switched on, he could have found the ball coming onto his chest. Sangwan this time with the raking pass, and Chungnunga lets that go deliberately. Wonder if he knew that Bryson was lurking behind him to pounce onto any such opportunity.
Ibusuki over the top. Mahesh, but Sangwan was up to the task.
Yeah, in a foot race, Sangwan and Mahesh. Sangwan winning that one. And how crucial was that? Because right at the stroke of halftime, with the kind of finishing that Mahesh Naram is capable of, Sangwan did very well to marshal him stride for stride.
It's a great run though, from the other wing all the way this side, but Sangwan's aware and he followed his man.
Yeah, absolutely. For the left back to then find himself on that side again, lets you know that that's a player making a decision for himself on the pitch, which is good to see. Not wedded to ironclad tactical.
Here's Miguel's ball. This could be problems for Goa, but then Hrithik got onto it quickly, and that's half time. It was a fast start and a chaotic ending inside the box. Goa having to dig deep to protect that ball.
Dorji doing well.
And so just 0-0 between the two teams, but East Bengal's attack has looked better, more incisive. Sibi has been brilliant at the back for them, along with Anwar Ali. Miguel Figueira with his usual creative class that he's trying to sprinkle as Oscar Bruzon lets his staff know what he wants from the side and what needs to be said at halftime. As for Goa, this is a different kind of test for them. They come up against a confident East Bengal who want to win their first trophy under Oscar Bruzon. And Manolo Marquez already knows how troublesome it's been. Had to make a couple of changes at the back as well. And all in all, the home team need to change the way they're going forward at halftime. It's 0-0 in the Super Cup final. So a big final between the last two winners of the Super Cup to win this edition. It all started with this wonderful delivery that just sailed over Severio's head.
Yeah, which could have given FC Goa an early lead, but then after that it was all East Bengal. This was almost an offside, but then you saw Bipin Singh in acres of space. Figueira decided to go himself. Could have given the lead to East Bengal early on.
And then the overloading, especially on this side. Ibusuki, Bipin and Miguel Figueira all combining to put so much pressure on Boris. That's one particular example of how good they were going on this side, trying to create openings for Mahesh Naram.
Yeah, we saw that time and time again, and this time as well, Figueira with his driving runs decides to give it to Mahesh, who had time to dally on the ball and scan his options, decides to go with the first time pass.
Ibusuki's flick-ons have been quite brilliant. Bipin escaping Udanta this time, and then had to in fact come back so that the cavalry could join in. Eventually did manage to find Mahesh, who tried to neatly place it, but hit Hrithik from his first time effort.
Yeah, the decision making on the pitch has been good from East Bengal. We saw a corner right before halftime. FC Goa doing well to desperately throw themselves at the ball to make sure that they go into halftime at 0-0.
And so these are the match stats. Goa with more of the ball. Just the one shot on target that came from Mahesh. from that cross from Bipin. Not too feisty, just the one yellow card. Boris is already off the pitch, in fact. Maybe was a big factor in getting him off early. But it's everything to play for as East Bengal and Goa stay at 0-0 at half-time.
"50 years ago, Grandma survived a disaster. Don't you see this? Death is coming for us because we were never supposed to exist."
There's no running this time.
This book, it will show you everything you need to know to keep our family safe.
Maybe Death's not actually coming for our family. Because that would be crazy.
Good luck.
Day, my boy becomes one of us!
We don't have to kill them. I won't hurt you. I'm not one of them. Everything we know about dragons is wrong. Come on!
Welcome to Los Alamos, a secret laboratory in the middle of nowhere, focused on one goal. Is anyone ever going to tell the truth about what's happening here? What the hell is this place?
The research facility for the original Jurassic Park. What the hell are those?
These dinosaurs were too dangerous for the original park.
Let's go!
You keep dancing with the devil. One day he's gonna follow you home.
This could be the greatest opportunity in my life, and it comes with danger.
Well, I bet ain't nobody seen that coming.
Well, the Fatorda has already witnessed a semi-final full of goals and a red card as well. East Bengal have got through to the final, and now it's about which team they will face for the Super Cup. FC Goa and Mumbai City, after we've seen quite a few rivalries already in the group stages. But now it's time for these two to take centre stage. These are two teams which have done well on the continent in recent times. Only one will remain. Welcome to semi-final 2 of the Super Cup.
And of course, welcome to all of the fans inside the stadium as well. Of course, they can't hear this, but we are very happy to see the stands full.
Now a chance. And a shot! Ooh. And off the woodwork. The clattering sound that was much needed to wake everyone up to this game.
Yeah, well, Severia didn't even know a few minutes before this game started that he was in the starting lineup. But once he is, he does this.
Chance to send something in. Oh, it went past Thierry to Bryson! What a hit! Just pure quality. Thierry left on the floor, embarrassed.
Fuller, that's pure instinct that comes from an immense self-belief in one's quality. The moment that ball came, look at what Bryson Fernandes does with it. That's the difference between a player who overthinks things and a player who plays on instinct. And marry that with technique, you get a finish like that. Born and bred in Goa, making Goan fans ecstatic. 1-0 to FC Goa.
Had to be him. Nicely done. Here's Sangwan. Good looking ball towards Borja. Sent out by Bijay Chetri. Back in again! What a strike! Pure power! Not just the ball, even Lachenpa's in the net.
Wow. Well, we just mentioned that we haven't seen balls coming in from that Spaniard. But he's capable of that. So why put them in? when he can do that from that range.
How has he let that go in though? How has that happened is beyond anyone. Borja was brought down cynically by Ortiz.
That's frustration, pure frustration by Jorge Ortiz, who clearly isn't happy about the foul that he called for a few seconds earlier.
It is Timor, goes low. Oh my word, Lachenpa left flapping again. And Timor almost fooling everyone into thinking it's going to be a power shot. And this is what happened in the end.
Lachenpa clearly wasn't expecting that. Maybe he would have expected Timor to go with the full force of that shot.
And now Pereira Diaz to bring Mumbai City back in it. And he's hit the woodwork. A lashed effort.
It's a big, big moment. And Pereira Diaz was bought by Mumbai City FC for moments like that exactly. In a game like this, where Goa charging forward could have given Mumbai a sliver of hope.
Bora digs it out for Drazic. Twisting and turning. Severio. Timor! Saved by Lachenpa. Drazic in. The offside flag is up.
Once again, when the ball was rolling towards Timor, you expected it to be met with much more force and ferocity. And he did test the keeper.
But the point is different with goals and legs. And now, why it's different in cup games is because they can suddenly turn. And Pratik Mandal has pointed to the spot. Mumbai City have been thrown a lifeline. And both the keepers now have an error to count. Ritik Tiwari with that one after Lachenpa let one in. And so Mumbai City's captain and number 7 has blazed it over. It sums up their Super Cup so far.
Changte there had the chance of hitting the notes, singing the song of a comeback for Mumbai City, but instead, all he let out was a whimper.
Pereira Diaz. Oh, it's a good ball in as well. It's a wonderful goal. And Brandon Fernandes against his former side has brought Mumbai City back into this. And a certain silence has descended at the Fatorda. That was so well worked. He's done it against Mumbai City. Now he does it for them. Oh, it's a good ball there. And the shot is good as well. Tiwari saved the first one. Changte on the follow-up into the side netting.
Wow. Yet another attempt by Mumbai City. Yet another door left ajar by Goa. And Changte, how has he missed that?
Brandon. Pereira Diaz to bring Mumbai back into this. It's a save. And it's a big save.
We must sit up and realize that Mumbai are on the ascendancy in this game. No doubt about that.
Quell the tide. Now Ortiz. Oh, testing Tiwari. And he's up to the mark, the goalkeeper. And that means more pressure building. It's almost over. It is over. Goa into their third Super Cup final. The title defense continues for Peter Kratky and Mumbai City. It is the third season in a row that they exit the Super Cup in the Final Four. It was closer than what was expected after how Goa ran into a 2-0 lead, but Mumbai City made the most of it. Changte missed a penalty and a chance here and there at full time at the Fatorda in this semi-final. It is FC Goa 2. Mumbai City 1. The Super Cup resumes today with a tasty tactical battle between East Bengal and Punjab, the first semi-finals. Punjab have a perfect record so far, East Bengal nearly so. But one has tasted Super Cup final and one has never done so. It's brilliant though. Oscar Bruzon and Dil Peris very well respected for their tactical styles. But they have come this far and now is the time to measure how far they've come. It's going to be a bit sad to see one of these two teams exit, but such is the sport. Let's see what the Spaniard can produce. Teasing ball into a really good area. Pramveer was free. And surely he's got to trouble Prabsukhan from that kind of a spot.
As highly rated as Pramveer is, he really needs to bury that kind of chance if he is to make himself a name in Indian football, and that could have given Punjab an early lead.
It's a good delivery as well. He did go up for that header. Didn't connect. Rashid goes for the... Welcome back. Oscar Bruzon watches on like a hawk as East Bengal and Goa are locked in at 0-0 in this Super Cup final. Goa and company have not had much joy. Borja continues to chase a hat-trick of Super Cup titles, but this is a strong red and gold brigade which has stood firm so far. And Manolo Marquez was full of praise for what East Bengal are doing, how they've played, and in a way it's come true. His assessment that this will be a very tough team to break down.
Yeah, watch the second half to see if FC Goa can raise their levels in the second half like they haven't been able to previously in this tournament, and if East Bengal can consolidate everything they've done in this game so far to get that much awaited goal for their fans. It's going to be a good one.
Off we go then, 45 minutes and more if it continues to stay drawn. But there is a goal in this. Ibusuki thought he would go for a shot on the bounce when the ball was just inviting to be struck. Here's Crespo. Miguel Figueira was ghosting in.
Yeah, you mentioned Ibusuki, who could have had a couple of assists in the first half. Had the flick-ons he provided for Boris been converted, this performance really would have endeared him to fans of the red and gold, who so far haven't been particularly impressed with his performances, but this performance could be the one that swings them onto his side.
Crespo. Let's not forget they've got Ahadad on the bench. That's a player who can move and cause a lot of problems. But so can Borja. He's looking goalwards. Nothing given for that. Just a little coming together. Drazic. Sangwan. Ayush Chetri escaping Rashid. Unable to escape the long legs of Miguel Figueira.
Just look at the work ethic of that East Bengal midfield. Helping each other out at every given opportunity. Not letting anyone be isolated.
Nicely done. Into the path of Bipin. Stopped confidently by Paul Moreno. He's continued his run as well. Severio alongside, Drazic outside him. He picked out the obvious option.
Yeah, Moreno deciding so as far as I'm going.
Ayush Chetri! Thought of it, went for it. Just over.
Well. You usually don't see that from Ayush Chetri, but given time and space, decides to weigh up his options, decides to go through his laces. Just a little bit above the crossbar.
Very positive from Paul Moreno as well to continue his run. Make the right decisions a couple of times. But once again, if you noticed, Dejan Drazic not allowed the room to cross it in or to swing his right foot by Rakip.
Yeah, East Bengal are marrying tactics with work ethic in this match. Usually leads to you're becoming an opposition that's hard to break down for the opposition.
There he is, surely waiting. Haven't seen a lot of Nandakumar lately. In fact, almost not at all. He's got a big ladder to climb now. Long ladder, rather. Timor. Oh, very smartly done. And Dejan Drazic was offside. But that was a wonderfully disguised pass.
David Timor finding himself in that advanced position for the first time in that match. And once he's in that position, given time and space, you can see just slightly offside was Dejan Drazic. But even if he wasn't, he decided to take a touch. I wonder if he was better placed to go with that first time finish past the keeper. He's got the ability to do that. But Timor, so dangerous, so dangerous.
There have been some close calls, but finally an offside given.
And one thing that's not changed is attacks continue to come down one side. They have reinforcements. David, Edmund, Jeekson Singh, who's kind of fallen out of favour, much like Nandakumar.
He'll be used in any position, though. That is why a head coach like Oscar Bruzon will want to keep a Jeekson. You remember he tried him at right wing once, or right midfield once, at right back once. But an attacking mindset on the bench, even a Jai Gupta can go forward and cause some damage. Meanwhile, here's Bryce, and he knows something or two about that. Borja missed, and he hardly ever misses in the Super Cup.
Oh, he knows it. Hands in his face. Borja Herrera had a golden opportunity.
Ayush puts it in. It's a great looking ball, and just wide as Borja went for it again. Goa knocking on the door.
And a far cry from how the first half went for FC Goa. Sibir is on the ground. Borja's holding his head in his hands, and that's why. Excellent cross. Borja, from this angle it looked like he was almost going to find the top corner, although it was offside. Called by the referee.
Yeah, the flag was up. And he's probably just realized it as well, which is why there's an expression of confusion on his face. This is the first miss, though.
Yeah, Bryson with some excellent work decides to give it to Borja Herrera. A player of his quality should really be making a connection with that ball at the very least.
Well, Manolo Marquez usually says the right things at half-time. Goa have taken nearly 40 shots in the second period of a game in the Super Cup. Only 2 goals have come from those attempts. Have to be more clinical.
Yeah, it does point towards the fact that they have more intent in the second half going forward. But more than intent, it's the outcome that matters.
Slightly more balanced now in terms of the opportunities this game, especially with the start that Goa have had. Wonder what happens because Mahesh and Bipin have swapped wings. Ibusuki. One back by Chungnunga, inviting Rashid onto the ball. Here's Bipin. First time ball has enough pace. Angle favours Miguel. Excellent footwork to set himself up on the half volley and then blazes it over.
Yeah, that chance has only come because East Bengal players are fighting for each other on the pitch. It all begins with that win back by Chungnunga. And Rashid kind of gets the ball into Bipin Singh. That's where, after the mistake by Odanta, you have a missed chance by Miguel Figueira, who's now had two very good opportunities in this game to put his side ahead.
It's a great start to the second half for both the teams. It's always tough to deal with in the air.
Goa showing good mentality in the second half. Seems to be a bit of a bounce in their step. Extra fizz in the ball.
Drazic. Early release would have been offside, but the way Anwar Ali hooked the ball out of the air was quite special. However, play will not be stopped because Anwar took the ball away, so the flag went up, but no free kick for East Bengal, which is why play continues.
Plucked it out like an expert, Anwar Ali. And he wasn't to know that it was offside. He had to do his job.
Just in terms of the chances created, East Bengal have 3 players in the top 5 when it comes to chances created in the Super Cup so far. Paul Moreno wins the free kick for this. Naurem, Miguel, Bipin have all created 25 chances amongst themselves as we look at this foul.
Yeah, Moreno with run after run to what seems to be the promised land in the other half, where East Bengal is playing, eventually gets the foul. It's almost like he has a pot of gold at the other end that he's chasing.
Timur for Borja, who is offside.
Yeah, cheap offside to be on the receiving end of. But time and time again, still beats me. How is no one closing down on David Timur? Or maybe the thought is that we'll deal with it. We'll deal with the second ball. Just hope for their sake, for East Bengal fans' sake, it doesn't come back to bite them.
Free kick. Bound to be the way Timur went in. No arguments offered by him.
Busuki's put in a good shift. He did so in the last game as well, doing everything that's been asked of him. Now he'll be one of the main contenders to get his head onto the ball from this cross, which is likely to be from Miguel Figueira. Or will it?
It is Miguel. Not enough height on that. Rakip calculating the bounce well.
Yeah, Rakip won the battle of the anticipation over there. Bryson might have just expected the ball to have a little more fizz and bounce on it to take it over Rakip.
Looking for Borja and finding him. Ayush weaving it towards Bryson, and in steps Anwar Ali once more to save the situation.
I'll tell you what, first of all, a poor touch by Bryson's standards. Anwar Ali was on hand to mop up. It all started when Ayush seemed to be going nowhere. Suddenly changes direction, excellent ball in, heavy touch, and Anwar mops it up. But just for a second over there, you thought Ayush was going nowhere. But Bryson, slightly heavy touch. We're seeing Anwar Ali operate at a very, very high standard in this game. Maxing out.
Four shots for both the teams. A little soft. That's what Figueira believes. Before this game started, East Bengal had made nearly 3 times the number of interceptions than Goa had throughout the tournament. A remarkable number, 130 interceptions before the start of this game, and then Manolo Marquez's team had made only 50. So it shows how much control they've had in games. They haven't had to win back the ball, so they haven't been challenged in midfield so much. And it also shows how hard East Bengal work in midfield to win the ball back.
Correct. Always seem to have an extra body in midfield as well. East Bengal might have contributed to that stat. Anwar Ali doesn't agree with that foul given against him. Maybe use Severio's leverage over there just to be able to head that ball away. But like we said, he's just at the top of his game. This is the kind of East Bengal team that Anwar Ali would have envisioned joining when he left Mohun Bagan Supergiant. He left a very good Mariners side to come to East Bengal. Many questioned why he was doing that.
Borja. Sibi first. Now Sangwan. Got a good shape on this. Ibusuki goes up. Bryson trying to turn, runs into traffic. And that's good work from Mahesh to just buy some time. Picked up by Timur. In went Sibi again. Here's Figueira.
East Bengal just slowing it down now. Conserving energy will be as important as that breakthrough. Remember, it can go to 120 minutes if it ends in a tie at the end of 90.
Let's play on. Bryson going down in front of the noisiest section of Goa fans.
And finally gets his foul. This is the one that was not given. Bryson getting a bit of Chungnunga's shirt. Chungnunga returning the favour.
Time for some changes already. Maybe someone who can run at defenders, take them on. Moreno, ball's just stolen off him. Rashid. Oh, beautiful touch from Figueira. Pipin scampers away. Ibusuki! Oh, it's straight to Ritik Tiwari. What a wonderful setup. And the header was soft. Here come Goa now. Bryson early. Anwar Ali away.
But I'll tell you what, that seems to have woken everyone up in this stadium, including Manolo Marquez, who was incensed with just how much time and space FC Goa was, I beg your pardon, East Bengal was given on that occasion. And Ibusuki, we'll see that replay just in a second. All of the good work he's done in this game could have been just condensed into one moment.
What a chance. Yes, maybe the floated cross didn't have enough pace, but either side of the goalkeeper, and that goes in.
Absolutely no. There can be little excuse for heading the ball right to the keeper. Make him work at the very least.
Figueira. Went down, wins the free kick. Let's have a look at that chance again.
Excellent flick on by Figueira into the path of Bipin Singh, who puts in a beautiful cross for Ibusuki. Perfect height, perfect positioning. Had all the power generated, but straight to Ritik Tiwari. Either side of him would have been a goal, and Manolo Marquez knows that his side has hung on by a thread in this game.
Time for a change. Mahesh Naorem is going to be hooked off. PV Vishnu on.
Yeah, like-for-like replacement, PV Vishnu. Very technical player like Mahesh Naorem, who's had a good game, just gassed out a bit. Vishnu will play in exactly the same position as Mahesh.
Figueira, a lot of pace on that. The whistle went. The referee wasn't ready. He didn't blow the initial whistle to take the free kick.
Figueira incensed. So is Borja. There you see, ball went out. Borja hardly does anything. Figueira clearly didn't like that little contact by Borja, and eye to eye. Both players doing extremely well to hold themselves back from.
He thought it was an elbow at his back. And Figueira just apologizing for losing his cool in that moment. It's well managed. If this is sorted without cards, it's very well managed. Two players who are expressive, who are creative. Cards coming out for someone else, meanwhile. That's Dejan Drazic. And he's applauding the referee. And Harish Kundus possibly said, do you want to be sent off for doing that? That's so silly from a player who's been all over the world.
No, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, Harish Kundus done him a big favor by not being impulsive and whipping out a second yellow.
That's the assertive attitude needed in a situation like this. Do you really want to be sent off for applauding me? For sarcasm, really?
Absolutely. And if that was continued, no excuse to remain on the pitch.
Lovely turn from Ayush Chhetri. He started running things in midfield ever since he took that long ranger and then set up Bryson for what could have been another golden chance. The player with the most assists in the Super Cup is off the pitch. Mahesh Naorem will not be able to add to his 3 that he has. Rashid, very good at managing the ball, and Figueira possibly needed something softer so he could run onto it.
So it's been a joy to watch these guys. Just playing off of instinct, off of each other, knowing where the other player is. And look at how well East Bengal are just treating the ball. Beautiful to watch.
Good exchange. Borja. Stopping everything that comes his way, Rashid.
Very good work once again by Rashid. Just seems to find himself in the right position all the time, and then he can do this.
And a lucky deflection en route. Here's Ibusuki. Pass to Danta. Drops for Bipin, who wins a corner.
The red and gold on the ascendancy, and East Bengal bringing the fire to the Fatorda. All of that came from the hard work put in by Ibusuki. In a one-on-one with Udanta, casually went past him like he wasn't there.
So Bipin takes it. He's got a lot of pace on that. He came in with a lot of pace as well from Sibi, who's looking for his third.
Yeah, Sibi knows it. Got some good elevation. Just couldn't keep it down. It's a nice angle to look at what happened there exactly. Just about a quarter of the game remaining now.
Just a very healthy level of impatience that East Bengal have started to build when they go forward. You can't be too careful as well. But the quickness with which they want to play that forward ball, yes, it doesn't always work, but when it works, the instinct now is to look up and look ahead. And that wasn't the instinct in the last few seasons. It's been a while. And it's great to have that little instinct amongst the attackers. Bipin, Figuera, Ibusuki, Vishnu, Mahesh, add all of those players into the mix. And it looks like players who enjoy attacking football rather than being safe.
You mentioned Bipin as well, Pula. It's amazing how he's retained that hunger in his career. He's won everything there is to win in Indian football, and yet continues to come out for East Bengal in the manner that he has.
He hasn't won a Super Cup yet, so he's chasing that.
In hot pursuit.
Mohammad Nemil is there, Harsh Patre is there. Meanwhile, East Bengal are on the attack. And Moreno smashed it away before the trigger could be pulled. Drazic back to Ayush, who drove forward with the ball and now nutmegs Rashid to find Timur, who's urged to shoot, blocked quickly. Pace picking up.
I'll tell you what, credit to FC Goa. Despite all the pressure they've been under by East Bengal, they're still keeping their bearings together. Ayush Chetri could have released that ball way earlier, but decides to drive with it. And now, after the end of the drive, Timur with acres of space. The shot was on.
Drazic stopped by Crespo. Not had a very fruitful evening so far.
Wonder how long it is before we see more substitutions from Manolo Marquez. Players tiring.
Just over Ibusuki, who was also in fact continuing to urge Vishnu to be in a higher position so he can just help it on.
Something so earnest about Ibusuki's effort on the pitch. Doesn't really stir up a storm, doesn't complain too much, gets on with it. His height obviously holds him in good stead. Doesn't look like he's the strongest.
Nandakumar, David, Jai Gupta all in there. Edmund as well. Could very well be the other four changes that East Bengal have made just the one. Ahadad is not even warming up. Vishnu. Figuera. Vishnu. This could be wonderful. Oh, has it been given? It's not been given. Wow. And how do we solve this now?
So, extremely hard to give that one. And I'll tell you what, that's of Ritik Tiwari's own making.
It seems he's fine. It doesn't look like the entire ball crossed the line. What an effort though from Vishnu.
Whew. Close call for FC Goa. But once again, let's just see the neat interplay over there that led Vishnu breaking free. Good control with his head, good shot away, and Ritik Tiwari. Yep, correct call by the official.
Yeah, he's fine. And that's the big discussion during this drinks break. Manolo Marquez has gone after some of East Bengal's players as well. Oscar Bruzon's on his feet.
Yeah, the bench, of course, feeling like that ball should have gone in. Harish Kundu's officiated the game extremely well.
It's not the only action. As this happened as well. What a chance this was to take the lead.
Yeah, best chance of the game for East Bengal till that point of the game. Ritik Tiwari did hold on to the ball, but in the most recent attack, instead of palming the ball away, he decides to just let it go through his hands. Never deliberate, but he's going to be doing better. There was hit once again through his hands, and the whole of the ball doesn't seem to have gone over the line. It's not clear and obvious that the ball has gone over that white line.
And the referees have to be very, very clear when they give a goal like that. He's not supposed to spill that kind of shot back as well. Is that the same Sarvula Chenpale did spill as well the other night? It is, isn't it? Almost a similar situation, but this shot was from much closer. Figuera. Unable to make much of that. Now Ayush Chetri quickly for Severio. Out wide for Bryson. Borja joining, Severio hanging back. Bryson going wide and hitting the post.
It's almost like this game has got a shot of caffeine. Double espresso, please. Both sides after the drinks break. Springing into action, Bryson doing what he does best, so close. Wow, what a phase of play. And Bryson almost gets another iconic goal at the Fatorda. Given time and space, unleashes a near post shot, which fizzes past Prabhsukhan, who probably had it covered. But again, coming so close. Both sides now have had so many good chances.
They want to finish it in 90. Borja. Dejan Drazic! Unbelievable miss. So off target. And sometimes when you have so much time, the mistake just looks bigger than it was.
Pula, that was a nothing header. Neither did he go for the goal, neither did he cushion it into Bryson's path. And Manolo Marquez, you can just almost imagine what he's going to go through if East Bengal now sneak one in. And Drazic should have just really cushioned it into Bryson's path. He has the ability to do that. He's been a bit rattled this entire game. It was evidenced by that yellow card received. Wonder if he's playing on the edge. Dejan Drazic. There again. Beautiful cross by Borja Herrera. And there you see Bryson just asking for it.
Just thought maybe if he would have waited for the ball and hung back a little, could he have gone with his right foot? All these options.
One thing's for sure, it wasn't a tricky ball to deal with by any means. But wow, what a phase of play we've had. As more substitutions for East Bengal. Jai Gupta being readied. So is David. And the crowd now getting into it. They realize there's 10 minutes to go of regulation time. They have to impact the game in whatever way they can from the stands.
Brilliant so far this half from both the sides. Borja. Timor. Sangwan. And now East Bengal could look up. Vishnu. Oh! That would have been unbelievable. It was not intended. That was a clearance. Let that be known. And it could have become a goal.
Of all the things that could have happened. If a stray clearance.
Ibusuki for Miguel. Here's Bipin.
And Bipin goes down asking for the penalty, but we'll see what happened once again. If a stray clearance became the reason why this game was decided, would have just summed football up. That was going in, and Prabhsukhan does very well to get a finger on top of it. I'll tell you what, had he not, that was sneaking in.
Just off the underside of the bar.
Let's breathe. As tactical as the first half was, the second half has just given us so much, Bulla. End to end, especially in the last 10 minutes.
Very exciting. Timor. Severio. Ayush Chetri. Sangwan. Now the idea was to play Drazic back in, handball. And a free kick.
We'll have to take a closer look at that to confirm whether it was indeed handball or not. Wall pass being played by Sangwan. And Timor, and oof. Well, let's just say Rakit has cause to be indignated. Not a clear handball.
And not enough. Now the fans are enjoying. It's that kind of a game. They've been on their feet behind us as well. And more so now. As they get ready for this free kick for Goa. Borja. Wasted.
More subs.
Chungnunga off Jai Gupta, and Ibusuki makes way for David Lalansanga. Not long left. Impact is the need of the hour.
David had a great I-League season a couple of seasons back. Hasn't been able to replicate that in the ISL. But if he's on the score sheet tonight, he's going to be part of East Bengal lower forever.
Nothing from Manolo Marquez in the second half when it comes to changes. Nemil and Rabi and Sahil Tabora are the three favourites to come on. As David turns. Here's Rashid. Gets it back from him. David Lalansanga deflected out wide. He's asking for a corner, doesn't get it.
Yeah, a bit of a feeler for David right after coming on. Let's see if it was a corner.
Yeah, and because of that, Rashid has been going after the referee as well and has gone into the book for his demonstrations.
He's still going, Pula. And like Drazic, he would do well to shut up at this point of time. And Sabil reminds him of that.
The finish line is in sight, but that finish line can be extended in football by 30 more minutes and the prospect of penalties. Just goes out. East Bengal will restart this from a throw-in. Vishnu, Crespo, Figuera. Just once in a while, if you could not always try it first time, just wait a little.
He has driven forward with the ball on a few occasions in this game. He's been driving. But maybe just think saving that extra second could be the difference between a goal and an attempt.
Just to let the other players around him understand what his idea is.
Earns another foul for the red and gold. Such good control. And those two in the frame, Timor and Figuera, very instrumental with their sides in different ways. As we approach 90, with this game now increasingly likely to go into extra time unless either of these sides gives us something.
27 chances created. Can't ask for more from a final. Maybe one more. A telling chance created.
The last time East Bengal played a final, it was a humdinger. They were leading till the 90th minute when Diego Mauricio went down and earned Odisha a penalty. East Bengal won it in extra time.
Vishnu. Oh, he's gone past Udanta, but he fouled him just before.
Yeah, crucial foul. Extremely crucial, because then Vishnu had a chance to pick his pass. And Udanta is not angry, not happy.
Tense in the stands right now.
You guys have a different way of showing their tension. Usually involves a lot of verbals towards the pitch.
Timor. Drazic. Borja Herrera. And now Sangwan. Chance for a cross. It's picked out Udanta instead. Drazic. Lalan Sanga was clipped from behind by Ayush Chetri.
Just a few seconds back, the fact that Drazic wasn't given time and space to cross the ball once again goes on to show how organized East Bengal have been in defense throughout this game. He had a chance to cross, they plugged that gap. He had a chance to cross it to his right, they plugged that gap. The only option he had remaining then was to go across the pitch. The ball on the grass.
We will be heading into 3 minutes of added time. Rakip, brilliant once more at intercepting that angle. Now Figuera. Miguel Figuera. Oh, he got it completely wrong.
Yeah, he'll be excused that. Head in hands time for Oscar Bruzon. If four more had a face.
Rakip. Anwar. Spins it towards Vishnu. And now Figuera. Oh, there was a chance for David. He was in the box. Rashid rising.
Yeah, Rashid had every right to go for that shot first time. Always rising. As we see how that chance was created for the American. He also had the option to go down to Bipin. And Timur has been chatting away throughout the game. Some players thrive on that. Timur certainly seems to be one of those. A penny for his thoughts.
Crespo. Is there one final chance in the 90-odd seconds that are left in this game? Vishnu. Jay Gupta. Vishnu. Oh, nutmeg on Nimdorji. Nothing given for that.
That was so obvious, Pula. With Nim standing with his legs wide. Almost always a player like PV Vishnu is going to take that opportunity. He's so similar to Mahesh, who he's replaced in that position.
Just better at taking on players at times, though. A little more pace because of being younger, but a little less experience because Mahesh has more football in him.
Interesting.
Bipin. Miguel.
How tempted.
It's over. Full time, and we head into extra time. 30 more minutes to separate the two after golden chances for the likes of Dejan Drazic. Ritik Tiwari had to claw the ball off the line when Vishnu drove into Goa's box and Bryson hit the woodwork. Ibusuki with that clear-cut header as well. That went straight to the keeper. And dozens of opportunities that could have gone from half to full very quickly but did not. East Bengal and Goa still not separated.
It's been such an entertaining 0-0, befitting of a final. As tactical as the first half was, the second half was more end-to-end. Went through its troughs and peaks. Bryson, like you said, hitting the post. Golden chance for PV Vishnu as well. Ritik Tiwari almost just gave it on a platter to East Bengal, but eventually it remains 0-0.
Let's take a look at some of the best highlights in the 90 minutes that have gone past us. Very early that chance just went over Severio, but he knew that would happen every time he was in the box. It was Ibusuki, in fact, who did way better and way more as a target man in creating this opening for Miguel Figueira, who just drove it wide.
Yeah, it's been a story of nearlies throughout this game, including that one. Mahesh testing Ritik at the near post. Ritik doing well. Then they brought out the flair, did the Brazilian. And Ibusuki came so close to giving East Bengal the lead, straight to Ritik Tiwari's palms.
There was this moment as well. Vishnu with some wonderful work with his head first and then his feet. Ritik Tiwari spilled the attempt towards him and then had to bring it off the line. Bryson, of course, going one way then the other, just trying to surprise Prabhsukhan.
Yeah, that was in quick sequence, and then you had Dejan Drazic just not doing anything over there. Not cushioning it to Bryson, not going for goal, and neither was he going for goal when that happened.
Almost forgot about that one. Just a quick toss again about the sides and the kickoff.
It's been a well-officiated game by Harish Kundu. He's kept the players in check, made sure that he's not made any rash decisions.
Just take a look at all the chances from the net camera, which just gives us a different dimension to how it looks. That's why we say rattles the post, because it does rattle. This one, whoa.
Rattled as well. And I'll tell you, Manolo Marquez, when he first thoughts, he's maintained throughout the tournament that his side has had not such great second half. This second half, however, makes sure that possession remains 55-45. No shots on target for FC Goa in this entire game. And that's concerning.
Now, when you hit the woodwork, it counts as off target. They've done it twice, Bryson and Paul Moreno. For 30 more minutes to separate the two teams.
It's as much adrenaline, as much as physical capability now. It's about the players reminding themselves of what's at stake. And they of course have reinforcements which they've used. Jai Gupta just being brought on. David Lalansanga, and that man. How much more time is he going to remain on the pitch?
He'll be there. There's no way they're taking him off. Unless he goes off on a stretcher.
And something tells me you're right.
The two halves of 15 minutes. Offside.
Yeah, merit in going route one after all the intricate play. Ooh, extremely close.
Just off. Just.
Had that been played onside though. You couldn't conclusively say that there was definitely offside. Another one of those.
Still no changes apart from Udanta and Nim Dorji for FC Goa. So I wonder if it's a matter of trust whether Manolo Marquez trusts any of those remaining on the bench to change the game. And that said, East Bengal have more firepower if they need to bring someone on, and Manolo Marquez possibly even knows it. And the likes of Vishnu have already come on and tried to make things happen.
Yeah, tired shot by Mohammad Rakib. What kind of a mentality would a team have to have going into extra time like this? Is it, let's go ham and try and find that opener? Is it, let's wait and watch?
It's also maybe up until 5 or 10 minutes are left. The mentality is to make things happen. But then thoughts of penalties start creeping into the mind as well. As a feeling, possibly better feeling, can't really compare feeling of loss, but maybe it's better to lose on penalties than in extra time. In open play, rather. Good challenge that from Nim.
Yeah, hear what you say about the better feeling though, because none of them would feel any better.
Yeah, with penalties you can get away with calling it a lottery and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Play on, says Harish Kundu. Thought of it again. And Jai Gupta's cross is completely off where it should be.
Yeah, not a good look for Gupta. Yeah, just got his knee into the back of Bryson's foot. Jai Gupta, of course, had done well. Got his technique all over the place and trying to cross that.
Jai Gupta, of course, playing against his former side.
Also helps that he speaks fluent Spanish. Had a Spanish manager when he was in Goa. Has a Spanish manager at East Bengal.
Good interception from Ayush Chetri. Bryson into the gap for Timor.
Well
Heavy
done.
touch. And it's fallen to Miguel Figuera. It's taken his pass to Paul Moreno and then slips. Very unlucky.
Yeah, there were some afters between David Timor and David. As Figuera went through the ball, and now it's time for Drazic to slip a little bit. The dew is weighing heavy on the pitch now. There's a ball of smoke that's just lingering over the stadium now. What's what happened? Look at that. David Timor has just been on edge this entire game, getting under people's skin. And Figuera getting past people. Just slips at an unfortunate moment.
Timor. Manolo Marquez is ready to make a change finally. Bryson will be making way for Rabi. Sangwan over the top. Rakip held firm against Bora. Figuera. He's looking towards Vishnu. Udanta won that. Cushion for Crespo. Lifts it towards Lalansanga. Drazic.
Just ran out of steam over there. But got the crowd up with that little chop, which is becoming a signature Dejan Drazic step. His hook step.
Ayush. Udanta. Timur searches out Drazic.
We're expecting more substitutions. Rightly so. With the game dragging on into extra time.
Nasail Tavora also getting ready to come on. He'll be replacing the man on the ball, Ayush Chetri.
Sahil Tavora and finals will always be synonymous with each other.
Especially with Manolo Marquez on the touchline.
Yeah, Mr. 87-19, as he's called. And he's going to be attacking the other end where he scored in the second half. Of course, that winner for Hyderabad FC against Kerala Blasters in the 21-22 season. The equalizer, rather.
Yeah, they had to go through penalties to win that. Looks like East Bengal are also ready to take the risk with Hamid Ahadad, who will be coming on for Bipin. Clutch of substitutions ready to be made.
Now that's interesting because Ahadad is not a winger in the same mold as Bipin. Bipin's more direct. Ahadad coming back from injury. Will he be able to offer the same pace? Will he be able to stretch the pitch as much as Bipin's been doing? We'll know.
Important touch that from Anwar. Abdul Rabi and Sahil Tavora. Is there a match winner out of the two? Interesting to see whether Rabi starts higher up the pitch than Udanta. Most possibly that will happen. Udanta is well settled now at right back.
Yeah, important reinforcements for FC Goa, but two players who've gone off, let me tell you, played like champions, regardless of whether they end up on the winning side or not. They've put in a shift. Ayush in the middle of the park. Bryson on the wing.
Jay Gupta is giving a little bit of a shoulder to Rabi to welcome him.
Yeah, like you said, just a bit of a welcome for Abdul Rabi. Gupta just has a few more minutes on him. Warmed up well.
Nimdorji. He's got good shape on that. Cleared away by Sabi. Needed more angle on that to find Vishnu, and there was room behind him. Maybe that's why Bipin, also after putting in such a shift, is being brought off for Ahadad, who has just edged onto the screen.
Yeah, seemed like a tired crossfield pass by Bipin Singh. Anwar Ali again, excellent. He's not put a foot wrong today. So solid. And if it does go to penalties, you can be sure he's going to take one.
Drazic, released by Severio. Once again, Sibi is stepping across him and doing well. So did Rakip to get past him.
That'll be a goal kick, but Sibir is in quite a bit of pain. And good to see by Drazic checking up on Sibir. That's what happened. Oh, we did see Dejan Drazic putting a naughty little leg out in the first half. We'll have to see if there was something to that as well.
Bipin Singh coming off and created a brilliant chance for Ibusuki and also for Mahesh. Very effective signing. Chance for Ahad to become an instant hero.
It'll be impossible for him to sit for the rest of the game. No chance.
Over the top from Jay Gupta. And David's out wide. Push down the wings from his more natural number 9's position to accommodate Ahad.
Ravi chased well. And he must, as a duty, do that for each and every ball for the remainder of the game. He's fresh enough. Manoj Market would have told him, just go and chase everything he can.
Little loose from Sangwan. Crespo. You see the tired legs now on the pitch. Just played 2 nights ago. Both the teams. David. Rashid. Oh, David should just have stepped into that gap.
Yeah, tired decision by Rashid. Although right to put the ball into that space.
No attention needed. Sangwan just down with some cramps. There's going to be a minute added on beyond the 105th minute mark. Such nervousness. Little extra football for these fans to watch. Both teams have had an equal number of chances, clear-cut opportunities, just unable to take them. But they're being spurred on. Enough cheerleaders at the Fatorda tonight.
Hands folded in prayer and hope, in requests.
And Nemil will be coming on for Sangwan, who seems like he's unable to continue.
It'll be interesting to see who goes into Sangwan's position.
Timor. But the whistle is gone. It is half-time in extra time. 15 more minutes left to play after a quick break. Still no goals.
And what's been good to see is that you'd say it's a 0-0, but neither teams have really tried to shut shop.
Yes, but they haven't even gone for it in that first period of extra time, have they? Some moments here and there, but just seems the second half of extra time is always mentally more difficult, physically as well. You're more tired. After finishing about 90 odd minutes, you still have a little bit in you in that first phase of extra time, and didn't really see that. They're just hoping that the players don't settle in a situation in their heads that, oh, it's penalties or nothing. There still has to be some belief to create clear-cut chances left in the tank.
Yeah, absolutely. Given that only 15 minutes are remaining, you can hope that the players give it their all. The fans are definitely giving it their all. He's right behind us. You can see him off camera as well. Oh, he's been at it the entire game. It's a jolly bunch.
Well, watching football has to be part of the Goan experience. Whether you're a tourist, whether you live here, you're crossing through.
You read that banner there, it said Pride of India, and that's what Goa are bidding to remain in continental competition if they do end up winning. But East Bengal with an equally proud legacy. The last time they qualified, they dropped into the Challenge League. I wonder what kind of campaigns either of these teams will have, but whoever wins will be a good representation for Indian football.
Excellent representation. All the top clubs, Bengaluru, East Bengal, Goa, have done ever so well on the continent in terms of going out and making sure that there is at least an attempt to get something down the line. East Bengal, of course, with the most famous travels. Even Dempo, let's not forget, when they were in the top division. So 15 more minutes until the dreaded shootout.
And from what we can see, seems to be Abdul Rabi who's dropped back. And Udanta who's in Sangwan's position now.
Taken away by Lalang Sanga. Here's Figuera, whose grip on the game has waned. Javi Severio! Oh! That first touch was just on the wrong angle, just too straight, when he simply had to set himself up on the right foot. Here's another shot. Prabhsukhan saves it.
Oh my word. Wrong angle, wrong decision by Javi Severio, who gets lucky because it's Mohammad Rakib who mistakenly puts it into his path. Bura Herrera wasn't getting there quickly enough. And Severio at least should be testing the keeper from there.
Drazic. Drazic! Severio! Oh, big double save! Prabhsukhan Gill has his moment.
How close will this game get? Because Dejan Drazic took an age to shoot, but when he finally did, he tested Prabhsukhan. And on the second attempt, he was governing it so very well. Severio, though, got that horribly wrong. maybe a cute little dink. Anwar Ali embraces Prabhsukhan like he's the man of the moment.
He sure was the man of the moment in that moment. Important touch from Timur. And Alan Sanga was just hanging back in the hope for something.
There's the save again. Got away with it. And excellent to spread his wings, to make sure that he covered ground as soon as possible, narrowing the angle down.
Just as viewers, you don't want an error leading to a goal to decide this. Ritik Tiwari has spilled the ball once. Prabhsukhan did as well.
Yeah, it would have been a pity though, if this game was decided by a mistake. Mistakes on the pitch now piling up. People getting in late, Prabhsukhan. And now Rakib with the late leg put out towards Javi Severio.
Crespo for Vishnu, who's tried to turn Robbie. That's not easy. Oh! And then Nemil almost making a mess of that.
Then Nemil would have been his own nemesis. Had the ball been consequential from that position, just a little too eager to swipe the ball away, ends up making contact with thin air.
Immediately looked at Manolo Marquez when he made that mistake, but there was a positive reaction from the head coach. He just said, just keep going. Well done, just keep your heads up. 10 more minutes of this, and then we'll see what happens.
He had the look of a guilty student towards the headmaster.
The neat touch in the box initially, cleared away by Rabi. Severio does well to find Krasic. Udanta's ahead of him. Can't get through the legs of Rakib, who's been brilliant again.
Yeah, excellent work once again by Mohammad Rakib. Udanta just tried to nutmeg him. Rakib was equal to the task. And eventually gets a foul.
What a game he's had. Just the one error where he put Severio through. And that's the only bad moment. When you come up against someone like a Krasic, it's hardly put a foot wrong. Later on, even against Sangwan, even against Udanta. Clash of heads, Sibi has stayed down as well. And clutching his rib as well.
You just suspect that Borja Herrera's head would have caught Sabil's rib. His shoulder. Elbow rather. I mean, he knew that Sabil was coming towards him. Half in protection. Decides to flail his elbow out.
Now a chance, just behind Ahadar. And this time from distance, straight to Tiwari. Saul Crespo thought of it. Here's Drazic. Rakib puts it out for a corner.
Once again, Rakib, but that corner comes from that attempt by Saul Crespo, who decides, why not? Let me shoot, and gets a great connection. Ritik Tiwari does well to collect it. He could have easily palmed it away, but then decides that he has enough time and enough ability to bring the ball down from his palms. And a quick release meant that they have a corner now to FC Goa.
Borja. Headed in! Oh! somehow it's gone into Prabhsukhan's gloves.
I mean, how close are these margins? It's Timur this time, and Anwar Ali in excellent position. Does well to not get any hand on that as well.
Just had to cushion that. Just a hush before we enter the final stages of this extra time.
And all these players in the bubble right now won't be thinking about anything else, anyone else, just about getting through the next 5 minutes and seeing what penalties brings if they get to that point.
And Goa, of course, came into this game having won their last 6 matches against East Bengal in a row.
Yeah, there have been a few good ones, Bulla. The most recent one decided by Bryson, who's not on the pitch. Before that, a Borja Herrera hat-trick at the VYBK, with the East Bengal fans giving him a standing ovation. Noah scored before that. There have been a few good ones. A Gaurav Channa hat-trick in this fixture as well. That was in Jan 2023.
He's looking for Vishnu. The free kick. Gone Goa's way. It's set in now. The mentality of knowing that only penalties might decide this.
For the players as well as the fans.
Something could still happen. Enough time. But it's evident in some of the body language. Not every player, but you can see it's just settling in.
Still though, either a moment of brilliance or either a mistake, as it usually is at this point of time. Whenever a game goes to extra time, and so many over the years in international football that have been decided by iconic moments or mistakes.
No Super Cup decided on penalties as yet in its short history.
How many nutmegs have we seen in this game? So many of them.
Yeah, skillful players on the pitch. Some of the football was really good to watch, exciting at least. Nice touch from Rashid for Ahadad, who could have done better.
Now the touch is getting a little heavier. And Miguel decides to track back and ensure that FC Goa's attack doesn't amount to anything.
No changes happening as well in the build-up to a shootout. Seems like both sides are happy with the players on the pitch, having the ability to take them. Well, a throw in. They don't fling it in, taking their time. Jai Gupta takes another throw in. No added time. It's a cross for Ahadad. It's gone over.
That's probably the last phase of open play we're going to have in this game as the clock now winds down and we prepare for penalties. You can be sure that the referee will blow his whistle upon this goal kick by Ritik Tiwari. Time for the players to lock in.
And so we go into penalty shootouts. Oscar Bruzon turns away from what he thought was a plan perfectly executed but did not get any dividends, not yet at least. Manolo Marquez and Nikoa also created their openings, had their moments and almost foiled that plan. But somehow nothing could get past the keepers. So many moments, but even at the end of extra time, it ends East Bengal 0, FC Goa 0 as we head into penalty kicks.
Yeah, it's been a really good game to watch, Pulla. We see the action that went on in the second half. Not much between either side. You had the odd stray attempt by Mohammad Rakib, who had an excellent game. And then a mistake, though, could have really let FC Goa in this time.